Hello everyone, welcome back. Now that you all watched the tumbler being made with the bakery fabric and the tack it method, I know you're all waiting for the lid, the whipped cream lid, something similar to this one. So we are going to get this done. Now, take the lid that fits to your cup, and if it has this little slide mechanism thing, you're not going to be able to use it anyway, so just take it off and discard it. You're going to need fast and final lightweight spackling, or any kind as long as it's lightweight. If it is not lightweight, it is going to be really, really heavy. You're going to need some fake sprinkles. These ones match the best to my fabric. And I have a fake cherry. And I have a piping bag. I am a cake decorator as well, so these are plentiful in my house. This is a 2D tip. Whoops. You can get these at Walmart for $1 or $2. I think they come in a set of 2 with just the open one and then the star one. That's the one we're going to be using on here. So the first thing we're going to do, you'll also need a little spatula that you can mix your spackling with. So you're just gonna get a little bit of this mixed up, enough that you can spread it like buttercream. So I'm just going to mix up this top portion, because I don't need a lot. It's a small lid, it's a 20-ounce cup. And we're just going to mix it enough till we get a nice, spreadable, pipeable consistency. Now the hardest part about this lid, I mean, if you're not a cake decorator, which most of you probably are not, and you're not used to piping those swirls that go on cupcakes, I get it. I needed practice in the beginning too. I would say just practice this on a piece of parchment paper or anything that you have, so you can scoop it back up and practice it again until you're comfortable. And once you're comfortable, then you can stick it on your lid. So I'm just going to take my bag here, and if you need to put this in a cup, you can. I just have done this for so many years that I don't need a cup anymore. So I'm just going to shove in, probably, you're going to want more than you need, just so the bag isn't really, really tiny and you're struggling to squeeze it out. So this is definitely a lot more than I'm going to need. This stuff washes off with water, so you don't need to worry about ruining everything. But definitely keep the tip just for your epoxy stuff. You're not going to want to decorate cakes with your epoxy tip. And see how it comes out, nice and soft. Okay, let me get that back in there. I was going to say the hardest part about this entire lid is waiting for it to dry, because it's going to take several days. Okay, so you're gonna want the straw opening, and get yourself like a straw, an extra straw, and have it handy just to make sure. I mean, you could put it in here now if you want to. I'll do it just for ease to show you. And you could do it one of two ways. This one here, I had put a 1 layer flat, completely flat across the lid, and then I let it dry, and then I came back and I epoxied that. Today, I'm just going to go directly onto the lid. So we're just going to take the piping bag and swirl it smaller as you go up, as tall as you want it to go. And make sure your straw fits in there. You can move it around so it goes. Okay, so there's that. Now the sprinkles you'll put on with the epoxy, it's not going to stick to this. It's too dry. This I'm just going to stick in the top right now. Even though we will epoxy it on, it will kind of stick a little bit later. If it pops out, put a little bit of like E6000 glue in there and push it back in. So now all we have to do is wait for it to dry. There's the bottom of it. And then we're going to take a food grade resin, and we're going to resin this whole thing together. So I will see you in probably 3 days. It's been 3 days, and it's nice and hard, and it's not coming off. So it's ready to move on. So there, I did tape it up, as you could see, so I don't get resin all over the edges. I'm going to fill in these blank spots right in here with a little bit of my glue gun, just so I don't have to fill it up with resin. So I'm just going to kind of dam off the resin from getting up underneath that. You don't have to do that, but it's just one step that I'm trying to avoid to do any extra resin steps. So anywhere like where it's going not all the way down. Again, this is personal preference. I did get out my food grade resin. You can make these removable if you want to. I don't, but there is a way to do it with magnets if you want to. I don't have a video on that though. Trying to get my glue to go in. And this obviously gets hard really quickly, so we won't have to wait. I've already mixed up my resin. Okay. Unplug that so it's not over here burning. Now this is the only food grade resin I have found, and it is called Super Clear Tabletop Epoxy Certified Food Grade Premium Commercial. It will be linked below. I haven't found any other food grade resins out there, so this is the one that I get, and it's a 2-gallon kit. So I mixed up about a half an ounce of that, and I have my sprinkles ready. Let me get them open. We're just really gonna just drizzle it over, and once you have it completely drizzled over, you can put your sprinkles on and let it cure. I do the whole cherry on top. It is gonna run down, but it will help glue that to the spackling when it's done. Get a little tool that you can get into these nooks and crannies, all these little ruffles on the whipped cream as well. So you're gonna want something small. I use my little silicone tool. And there are bubbles, but we'll get them popped. First, I'm just gonna get this all drizzled around. Just take your time and don't miss any areas, because if this spackling comes in contact with water, it will dissolve. And even though it's food grade, I know everybody gets worried out there. I always recommend when people buy these from me that they use a straw and not, you know, put their mouth on it or whatever, on the cup or the lid or whatever. You just don't know. But you can't control what people do, so I take as many precautions as I can in my house before it leaves my house. After that, it's totally up to the person. Now before this resin dries, you're going to want to remove your tape. Otherwise, it will probably be stuck to there and it will be very hard to get off. And if you want like a chocolate sauce on it, let this cure. Mix up a tiny bit of resin and tint it whatever color you want for your chocolate or caramel sauce or both. And just drizzle it on. And do the same thing, let it dry. Drizzle it on however you want to drizzle it. I'm not going to do that to this one, but you can definitely do that. I did do that in one of my other videos, so if you go back in my channel and watch the other one that I did with the ice cream scoops, I did drizzle chocolate on that one. I will link that one too. So if you haven't seen that video, you can watch that. That will be at the end of this video. So before you sprinkle on those sprinkles, just double check, triple check that you haven't missed any nooks and crannies. Make sure you get right here where the straw meets the whipped cream, because that's going to get a lot of action right there. So just like dab it in all those little spots, making sure it's in there. You don't want to torch this though. You can spray it with alcohol, but I wouldn't torch it. And if you find when it's dry you miss a spot, all you have to do is use some of your extra resin that you have and fill it in. I think I've got everything here. I'm just going to use my alcohol, give it a little spritz, and then we're going to put some of these sprinkles on. That way they stick to the resin forever. We will get this dried up and we'll show you a final product. What do you think? I think it's adorable. It's done, it's dry, everything's covered. Everything looks really good. So that was it. That was super easy. And if you do see that you missed a spot somewhere, I think the easiest thing to do is either wait till you have extra resin, of course, or get some like UV resin and just pop it on your little spot and then UV it done. Here's the cup from yesterday. Goes perfectly. Hope you liked it all. Hope you guys get creative, and I hope I inspired you all. You guys all have a blessed day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.